tell me about the app. How much does it cost money for someone to go on and to listen to the tours and download the tours?
We have a number of free walks, so some of them are sponsored. Cape Town Tourism have sponsored one of them, and we have a few other sponsored walks in the pipeline. But the majority of them, they do have a price. As I say, the person who, we call them storytellers, because we have people from sort of diverse mediums, and so journalist doesn't work because not everybody's a journalist, and you know, playwright doesn't work. So we say storytellers because that's kind of the common theme, is that these people are telling stories. So they choose the price of the walk. So when you see a price, it's something that the storyteller has decided on themselves. And then you can pay for it at voicemap.me on the website, where there is a sort of an interactive map and satellite photography, or you can download the Android or iPhone apps, and you can make an in-app purchase there. And then 50% of the price goes to the storyteller.
Now, what's your favorite one to listen to while you're in Cape Town, or even in South Africa?
I have so many.
I can imagine you probably do have a lot.
And then if I choose favorites, I risk offending the other storytellers.
Oh, that's true.
No, but I love, one of our first was Boerkaap, and it's still one of my favorites. We've learned a lot about how to put these things together better since Boerkaap, but it's still a great one. And that's because the storyteller Shireen, her family have been in Boerkaap for over a century, and she's just got such an intimate connection to the place. Like, you're walking down Long Market Street, so right at the top of Boerkaap, and Long Market is cobbled and extremely steep. And I mean, she talks a lot about the history of the place and the Cape Malay community, but the simple things are great too. You know, she talks about riding her bicycle down Long Market Street when she was a girl, and you know, because you're standing there and you're looking at this cobbled street, and you think, I wouldn't want to ride my bicycle down here. And so you sort of get a sense of how close her connection to the place is, alongside, you know, I think that it's much easier to process all of the history and to really sort of engage with what it means to be from a particular community if you have a person who's saying, I love this and I remember that. And these are a way in for other people.
It sounds incredibly educational, and it sounds like it gives you access to maybe people who you might not have had access to before. Where on earth did you get this idea from?
From a few places. I spent a lot of my 20s, which are sadly over now. I spent it traveling, right? I left Cape Town soon after finishing university, and worked briefly as a travel writer in London, and thought that from London I would be able to do a lot of traveling. It didn't work out to be that way because it's so expensive to live there. And so I managed to save up some money by running a pub in the English countryside, and then did an 18-month trip from London to Shanghai. And then I kind of got stuck in Shanghai. I wound up being there for 3 years. And after Shanghai, I had started to work there as a freelance journalist, and I realized that I could work from anywhere. So I spent another 2 years traveling around Southeast Asia, India, Mongolia, and China as well. And I was obviously writing and sort of changing location quite a lot. And I realized that the best experiences I had, obviously I saw some amazing sights, but the best experiences were when a local person sort of took me under their wing and showed me their city. And then I was able to write about the city from their perspective instead of my sort of outsider's view of things. And then I came back to Cape Town and looked for a job here, and I got work as the editor at a company that did GPS content, well, did the hardware for, say, open-top buses and cruise ships going up and down rivers and that sort of thing. And so they had sort of come at this from a hardware perspective. They installed these systems that tour companies would buy. And so you had one company working for another company, and the content that was produced didn't have much personality. It was, you know, I was the editor working with a team of writers. One of the writers is now the co-founder of VoiceMap, and we kind of struck on this idea together of opening this technology, and it's a really interesting medium, right? It's a really interesting way of telling stories, but it had until now been in the hands of people who only wanted to sell it onto large tour companies. And because we now all, or most of us, have a device that plays audio and has a GPS receiver sort of in our pockets, in our smartphones, right? Why not open it up, create a platform, and allow real voices to tell these kinds of stories?
What kind of feedback have you had from people who've been using voice maps?
Pretty good, yeah. I mean, most people have really sort of feel like they've had their eyes opened, and that a lot of people sort of go into somewhere new and at the end of it feel like they really have a sense of the place and its people, and that they're more comfortable sort of asking the right questions. They know they have a sense of the place. And we've had feedback from people all over the world. I mean, we have voice map routes now in 31 cities. We have 90 routes, so we get feedback almost daily. We had a bunch of people go out and do a new walk in London over the weekend, and they really loved it. But they don't. Not that many people love voice map per se, because and that's good. They love the storyteller, right? We want to be in the background. We want to make the stories shine.
Yeah. Well, you've sold me. I'm actually going to go and download it now and listen to some of those stories in Cape Town. Remind us how we can get hold of the app.
Okay, so there is an iPhone app, and if you search the App Store for voice map, you'll find it. Or you can, and then there's an Android app too, same thing. Search for voice map and download it. There is another app with a similar name in the Android app store, so in Google Play. So you might want to put
make sure you don't get that one.
Yeah, so voice map tours is probably a better search term there.
All right.
But you could also just go to voicemap.me and follow the steps from there. It's all pretty easy and straightforward.
Ian, thank you very much.
Thank you.